The FICO Classic credit score model is on the way out, and the enterprises, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, are going to be replacing it with two new credit scores. So just recently, the FHFA, which is the Federal Housing Finance Agency, announced that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are going to be ditching the credit score model they've used for like over 20 years, the FICO Classic. And this has been a work in process for a while, but they announced that there are two new credit scores that are going to replace that. It is the FICO 10T and the VantageScore 4.0. So the key features of this jumble of names and numbers and letters are really that the FICO 10T, the T stands for trended data. So what they're trying to do is a couple of things, but importantly, increase the trended data information that is factored into a credit score, so that if you think about two people that may have an identical score at a moment in time, if a credit score is a snapshot of a moment in time, you might have two people with the identical, 700 credit score. But one might be on the way up and one might be on the way down. And so the idea behind the trended credit score data is that it factors in information leading up to it beyond just a payment history, but how much a payment might be relative to a minimum payment. Has there been a shift to only making minimum payments? How have the balances been maintained over time? Was a payment just made to reduce the balance right before a credit report was pulled? That type of information is now going to be factored in over a trended data report. So that's one key change that is coming. The other is that they're only going to use credit scores from two of the large bureaus, the repositories. So there are currently three large repositories, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, that most lenders pull a credit score from. And each repository provides that lender with one credit score. So you end up with three scores. It's called a tri-merge credit report. And lenders will typically use, and the enterprises do as well, a median score, so that middle score to determine the score for the file. Well, with the shift that they're going to be making is that they're no longer going to require all three bureaus. They're going to require two of the three bureaus to be pulled, but each bureau is now going to provide two scores. They're going to provide a FICO 10T score, and they're going to provide a VantageScore 4.0. So if you pull two of the repositories and each provides two scores, you end up with a total of actually four scores now compared to what was previously three scores. So that's going to be a bit of a shift as well. By and large, the goal here, and FICO's website indicates that there is an increase of about 5% of individuals who previously maybe would not be eligible for mortgage financing that would be eligible, kind of all other things being equal. And a portion of that may also be related to the fact that they're going to be including more information from rent, utilities, telecom payments like cell phones, etc., that factor into the score as well. So we may see an increase where there are more individuals eligible for financing, more individuals eligible for purchases if they need a loan because they're eligible for financing as this starts to roll out. It's going to be a multi-year process. All the details aren't worked out yet, but FHFA made the announcement. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have made announcements as well about how they're going to be working with industry partners to kind of figure out how to roll out all the details. But look for that in the coming years. The industry is going to be, rather large shift in terms of how the fundamentals underneath credit scores are going to play out. But that shift and transition is starting to take place. And as you're starting to pay attention to your credit scores, things to keep in mind are the duration and history is going to play a lot more into the score in terms of trajectory than it used to. And some of these other things that were not previously factored into the score, like rent, utilities, cell phone payments, etc., can now be included to help boost scores for some individuals. So if you've got more questions, feel free to reach out to Christoph's. We're happy to answer.